What's up, family? It's your favorite author and storyteller, Matt D. Talford, back with another a long overdue on the road edition of Matty's Rap. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So, what are we talking about on today's brief edition of Matty's Rap? And y'all know I say brief kind of tongue-in-cheek because for those of you that have been on my channel for a while, you know that when I do the live streams, they tend to run anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And that is not a matter of intent. That's just kind of how it happens. So, but y'all know what I always say to the people who complain about the videos being too long. There are other content creators that put out 1 hour videos twice a day, 5-6 days a week sometimes. So I'm doing 1 or 2 live streams a week, anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. So I'm not giving you anywhere the number of hours that some of these other content providers are giving. But for those of y'all that show up on every live stream, you know Matty loves you. Now, today, what are we talking about? This is sort of a microscopic focus on a small portion of the live stream that I did a couple of Fridays ago. And that live stream was, the title of it was something to the effect of how having a blocked throat chakra can bring about confusion or something like that. You guys can look it up on my channel, and there'll be a link to it in the description box below for those of you that have not seen that live stream, full of nuggets, full of genuine nuggets. But in talking about one of the themes, one of the sub-themes in that video, I mentioned the calendar and how people make a big deal out of how many months there are in a year. And there's a big debate out there on the 13-month calendar versus the 12-month calendar. Everyone knows that the majority of the world uses a 12-month Gregorian calendar, but there are those that argue that there are 13 moon cycles in a year and that the Ethiopian calendar has 13 months and this, that, and the third. I talked about how to clear that up in that video, and what I mentioned was using the eye test. In that video, I talked about how if you look at the equinoxes, the spring equinox, and dealing with the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, I know it's flipped, but I live in the northern hemisphere, and the majority of the people that watch my channel are in the northern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere, the spring equinox is in March, and the fall equinox is in September. What are the equinoxes? Well, if you took away that stupid spring forward, fall back, and yeah, I said stupid, I hope one of the so-called elites is watching and that y'all will finally do the right thing and get rid of the time flipping every year. It's senseless, okay? It's useless and it's senseless. Get rid of it. Let's just deal with nature. Let's get back to nature. Okay, now, the calendar, the fall equinox and the spring equinox, regardless of what they do with the clocks, simply is a measure of the days having an equal number of hours of daylight and night, okay? Equal numbers of daylight and dark in the equinoxes. Spring equinox, you're going to have 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. Fall equinox, you're going to have 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness, depending on where you are, okay? Let's make that clear. It depends on where you are, of course. Now, you got 2 equinoxes, the spring equinox and the fall equinox. And then you have 2 solstices, the summer solstice and the winter solstice. The summer solstice has the longest number of daylight hours in a year. The winter solstice has the longest number of nighttime hours in a year. So that produces what pretty much is an energetic and a natural and a clearly observed cross, okay? You got a clearly observed cross/axis. Now, so regardless of how they divvy up the number of days into months on a piece of paper called a calendar or on a piece of tech called a calendar, it does not change the equinoxes and it does not change the solstices. They remain the same. So that in and of itself should tell you how many months there are in a year. So forget all of the nonsense, the noise. The noise says, well, there really are this number of days in a month, and there really are this number of days in a year, and there really are this number of months in a year. None of that matters. Observe the equinoxes and observe the solstices, and you will see that they remain the same year in, year out. They do not change. Now, Let me give you another eye test example of this. The year is 360 degrees. I don't care how you slice it up. Let me kill this heat, because what's going on right now is this weird weather, y'all. You don't never know what the temperature is going to be when you come out the house in the morning. It's crazy. So I had to kill that heat. Anyway, you've got, let's use a different eye test. The year is 360 degrees, period. There are 30 degrees in each month. There are 30 degrees in each month. Look at astrology. Astrology maps every astrological sign, whether sun, moon, stars, rising, any of the houses, they all are comprised of 30 degrees. The first degree being 0 and the final degree being 29. 0 degrees is the first degree of every sign. 29 degrees is the final degree of every sign. 360 degrees in a year, 30 degrees per sign. Do the math. 360 divided by 30 is 12. There are 12 signs, right? And there's 360 degrees in a year. So that means that there are 12 divisions, 12 perfectly even divisions of 30 degrees in a year. Call it what you want. Now, here's another one. A pizza. I like food, okay? I like pizza, apple pie, whatever kind of pie you like, whatever you like. Some of y'all like chocolate chip cookie pies. I mean, it's a little bit too sweet for me, but it is what it is. Let's take a pie. A pie is 360 degrees, right? So if I go to my favorite pizzeria, whether I'm in New York or Charlotte, North Carolina, if I go to my favorite pizzeria, and whether I order a 12-inch, a 16-inch, or an 18-inch, and some of them do even 20 inches, okay? Doesn't matter what size pie I order, that pie is 360 degrees because it's a circle. Now, if they slice that pie into 8 slices, it doesn't matter. There's still 360 degrees in that pie. It's still a circle. I can tell them to slice it into 12 slices. It's still 360 degrees. I can tell them to slice that pie, extra cheese with olives or whatever you want on yours, whatever, pepperoni, whatever you like. I can tell them to slice that into an odd number. Say, hey, you know what? I want 13 slices, since we talk about a 13-month calendar. I don't want the traditional 8 slices that y'all give and that y'all do in a pie. I want 13 slices. Can you make that happen? Any pizzeria is gonna be like, that's easy. That's easy, not a problem. Not a problem. I'm gonna cut your pie into thirds, all right? Or I'm gonna cut it into thirds, and I'm gonna cut that in half, right? I'm gonna cut your pie into thirds, and I'm gonna cut that in half. That's gonna give you six slices. And then I'm gonna cut them 6 slices into half. That's gonna give you 12. And I'm gonna take one of them halves and cut it into half. That's gonna give you 13 slices. There's your 13 slices. I don't know why you want 13, but you bought the pie with slices the way you want. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I got a pie with 8 slices, 6 slices, 4 slices, 10 slices, 12 slices, or 13 slices. Doesn't matter. It's still 360 degrees, right? So y'all, it is time to wake up, open our eyes, allow the scales to fall off, and start to recognize what is real, what matters, and what does not matter. The number of months, the number of calendar months in a year does not matter, because the year does not change. It's still 360 degrees. There's still 12 major constellations, and some of y'all talking about the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus and all of that. Look, I'm gonna drop another video in the description box. It serendipitously showed up on my recommended videos yesterday when I was looking at YouTube on my Apple TV. This video shows up where the narrator is breaking down the biblical explanations of the divisions of the year. I'm gonna put that in the description box for y'all to check it out. It's in the Book of Enoch, Chronicles. I didn't memorize all of them, but there's some other spots in there. So when you see that, you're gonna see that the creator created 12 major divisions. And I'm not gonna go into it. Y'all can watch the video for yourself. But basically, according to that narrator suggests that there are 364 days in a year and not 365. I can go with either one of them. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The year is still gonna be 360 degrees. Now, when you understand what happens during the solstices, in the 365 day school of thought, the summer solstice lasts 2.5 days, and the winter solstice lasts 2.5 days. Those are 2.5 days, respectively, of no upward or downward movement of the sun. Okay? No upward or downward movement of the sun. And I'm not going to get into the debate about whether the earth is round or flat. Y'all can do that yourselves. I've done enough of that. I debated that for about as long as it was allowed to be in the internet before they started scrubbing all that stuff off YouTube and some of these other platforms. Okay? But anyway, 2.5 days in one school of thought, the summer solstice is the sun sitting at its highest point in the sky for 2.5 days, and then the winter solstice is the sun sitting at the southern cross, the lowest point in the sky, for 2.5 days. 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. The other 360 degrees, the other 360 days, that's 12 months of 30 days. That's how some people look at it, okay? If you go with the 364 day school of thought, then you just knock that half a day off the summer solstice and half a day off the winter solstice. I can jive with both of those. If you understand the Easter story, that is also an esoteric description of the movement of the sun. It's an esoteric description. He stayed in the ground for 2 days. On the third day, he rose. On the third day, the sun rose. The sun was crucified on the cross, died on the cross. The sun is said to die when it's in the winter solstice at the southern cross. Stayed in the ground 2 days, and then on the third day he rose. So if it was 2.5 days or 2 full days, and then he rose after day 2.5 or rose after day 2, it really doesn't matter. There's still 360 degrees in a year. So it's time for us to start waking up, y'all. And again, to close this out, I'm going to reference the video I did talking about how having a blocked throat chakra leads to confusion. Check that out. Y'all really want to look at that, because there are some esoteric gems in there, as well as the video I did on the book of Ephesians, or not the book of Ephesians, but Ephesians chapter 6 verses like 11 through 19, I believe it was. Y'all check that out as well. Esoteric nuggets, nothing to do with religion, nothing. Okay? So, in closing, I'll reference that video again. Y'all check out that how having a blocked throat chakra can lead to confusion. When you see some BS, for those of you that consider yourselves chosen ones, you have a bit of a duty, I believe. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm not here to impose my beliefs on you. I'm not here to impose what I do on you. You got to move like you move. I'm going to move like I move. But I feel like if you consider yourself a chosen one, I feel like you have a duty to call out BS when you see it, because we're here to clean this planet up. And what has this planet sullied is millennia of lies and deception. We're in the midst of a cosmic spring. The age of Aquarius is the beginning of the cosmic spring. The cosmos moves opposite of the earth. The sun, and it's really, you're looking at the same, it's just the perspective. The top-down perspective moves, one moves clockwise, the other moves counterclockwise. All right? You're looking up at the sky, it's probably moving, clockwise, I guess. Clockwise. If you're looking down from the heavens, it's probably moving counterclockwise. It's the same sky. That's why the swing point is still Pisces. I covered that in another video, y'all. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to wrap this video up. Listen, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel and you enjoy being entertained, educated, uplifted, inspired, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button, all right? And make sure you have your notification bell set to all so that you'll be notified when I upload new content. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Last but not least, family, I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to add something to what I always say. I always say, tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Love is a verb. It's a noun as well, but when we focus on the verb, the noun takes care of itself. I'm going to add something to that. For you to reach your highest vibrational frequency, for you to fulfill your destiny, you have to be operating in the energy of authenticity. So be authentic. Be your authentic self. Be your authentic self. Do not allow another to change who you are, and do not try to change who somebody else is. Everybody came here with a natal chart that is unique to them, and with instructions that are unique to their mission, their purpose, and their experience. It is not our job to change them. Observe the planets. The planets do not try to change any of the other planets. Venus is always going to be Venus. Mars is always going to be Mars. They move in divine order. They move in divine order and in divine timing. That's all that matters. So what's the message there? Like the planets do, stay in your orbit. Stay in your orbit. Be who you are. Be who you are and try to be the highest version of that. And to achieve the highest version of who you are, you have to be operating in authenticity. Authenticity is all that matters. You're never going to reach your highest self. Your higher self is complete. It is complete, and it is completely authentic. It is the lower self that forgot that. And so our job in life, it's just like a giant video game. You come here to beat the game. You have to align your lower self with your higher self. And you're only going to do that by finding out who you are, what you came here to do, and living in the energy of authenticity. That's all I got, family. I love y'all. Peace.